Alright, I have my Eachine F16 kit that I've converted into a pusher motor and prop F16. I've got a Byme-A gyro in it now. I switched out the 6x3 prop and put a 50/40 prop on it, and I have a Tattu 4S 1050 mAh Lipo in it. So 4S. So let's bring it out here. I'm going to launch it in gyro mode, and let's see what we have with this F16 launching. I launched it at about 75% throttle there. Alright, so I'm in gyro mode right now. Let's bring it through here. Okay, we are in manual mode now. Ooh, that is really maneuverable. Nice roll rate, pretty fast. I've got a lot of tuning to do on it. I have very few flights on this because I have had so many problems with electronic components in it. In manual mode, it seems to be pretty straight and level at about 60 to 70% throttle. I don't know, guys. I think that might be faster than the EDF version. Alright, it's kind of hard to maintain orientation against this gray sky. We'll go another circuit and then we'll pull vertical with it and see what it looks like. I'm only flying at about 50% throttle right now. Okay. Oh my gosh, does that have a vertical? Yeah, there's no comparison. There's no comparison between the EDF version and this pusher prop and motor. That has exceptional vertical, and with my thrust numbers and the weight of this aircraft with this Lipo in it, it should, man, that is maneuverable. I gotta increase my expo a little bit, I think, of the ailerons. But it should have unlimited vertical. It should have around a 2-to-1 thrust to weight ratio with this power system. I'm keeping altitude because it's not been really, I have not been able to thoroughly test this out. This is the first time I've flown it with a 4S. I still have a lot of tuning to do on it. But oh my gosh, does that got power now. Power and speed. I backed off the throttle there. Man, just pick out some blue sky, or in this case gray sky, and cover as much of it as you want. That is absolutely fantastic, guys. Oh my gosh, there's no comparison. No comparison between that pusher and the EDF as far as power. That is amazing. Okay, I just put it back into gyro mode. Let's bring it over here and see if we can land it. I put some new skids on it too. We'll see how that works out. This thing can be pretty floaty, so let's see here. Not bad, not bad at all. Oh my gosh, I got some tuning to do on it, guys, but does that have some power now? Now, I just had my timer set for 4 minutes. So let's go back over here and see how much juice we have got left in the 1054S pack. At full throttle, I've got a 30 amp ESC in it. It's rated for 2S to 4S. And at full throttle, it was pulling, let me think about this, 28.6 amps at full throttle with a freshly charged Lipo. Put it in manual mode here. But oh my gosh, is that awesome power, or is that awesome power? I know it's hard to see in these gray skies. One day when I come out here to go flying, eventually I'm going to have some blue sky. I just know it. Okay, so, but that Byme-A gyro seems to work fine in these EDF jets as well. Now, it's very restrictive because the EDF jet, I mean, they move so fast through the air, you know, including this pusher. But I wanted to test the Byme-A gyro. 3.78, 3.78. Okay, so with this little 1050 milliamp hour 4S Lipo, it's a little Tattu. It weighs, what do you weigh? 119.6 grams. So it's a pretty lightweight airframe right now with this power system and this Lipo in it. It's got a 2-to-1 thrust to weight ratio. That is absolutely fantastic, guys. This is going to have exceptional performance, much better than the EDF version of it. I'm very happy having a parachute button on it now, especially helping with launch and landings. This Byme-A gyro is going to work absolutely fantastic in these EDF jets as well, which is why I was testing it in this one. But you have a very wide radius on your turns when it is in full gyro mode. But it's also going to be really nice to have some wind mitigation in the second mode on the Byme-A gyro. And I was flying around in full manual mode the whole time once I completed one circuit and came back in gyro mode. Then it was in manual mode the rest of the time. It's really hard for me to maintain orientation on this mostly gray jet in these gray skies. So, you know, especially flying it at altitude like I was, because it's untested at this point, and I didn't know how it was going to respond. But that is absolutely fantastic. So I will meet you back at the hangar, and I will give you information on all the components that I've got in this Eachine F16 kit that I mounted a motor and prop on the tail of. And that is, it's faster. It's faster than the EDF version is. It has a lot more power than the EDF version has, and it's also more efficient. So I call that a win-win-win situation. And unlike an EDF unit that takes time to spool up, this one has instantaneous power. When you hit the throttle, it's going to go. So I'm real happy with what I see right now. Now it's time to get it tuned out. The next time I have it out, I'll have it tuned so that we can put it through its paces and I can better demonstrate what it's capable of. But that's absolutely fantastic. I'll see you back at the hangar.
All right, well, I know it was hard to see. It was hard for me to see. It looked like a silhouette in the sky most of the time. Just a dark silhouette. But what I can tell you is that the performance on this on a 4S Lipo with a pusher motor and prop is much better than the EDF version on a 4S Lipo. I can tell you that. And when I landed, I know you couldn't see the gauge, but 3.78 volts per cell doing mixed mode flying. Had my timer set for 4 minutes. So I'll be setting my timer for 5 minutes going forward, and I will still have enough voltage in reserve that if I have any traffic going through, I will be able to fly some circuits at minimal power and be able to get it on the ground. But 5 minutes with a 4S 1050 milliamp hour Lipo. Okay, in order to get a 5-minute flight on my 50mm EDF jets, I'm putting a 4S 1800 milliamp hour Lipo in it. Huge difference. You know, that shows you how much more efficient this pusher motor and prop are on amps than the EDF units on 4S. Now on my EDF units, my 50mm EDF unit on this on a 4S is pulling about 37, between 37 to 38 amps at full power with a freshly charged LiPo. This one is pulling 28.6, so you know, somewhere around 9 to 10 amps less at full throttle with this push motor and prop compared to the EDF unit, which is why I can use a much smaller, much lighter battery and get just as much flight time. But I have a lot more power and a lot more performance out of it. So this kit was sent to me courtesy of Banggood. I want to thank them much for sending this for review. I wish that all of these manufacturers of these EDF jets would provide a kit version. I would much rather buy a kit, even if I was going to put an EDF unit in it. I would rather buy a kit and put the electronics and the power system in it that I would want to get the performance that I want out of it, rather than having to modify the power system from an almost ready to fly, a plug and fly, or a bind and fly plane or jet. That's my preference. I would rather get it set up the way I want it to begin with and not have to fiddle around with it after I buy a plug and fly version, have to fiddle around with it to get the performance that I want. So I am extremely impressed with the performance that I'm going to get off this. Like I said in the video, I've got a lot of tuning to do on it. If I don't crash it before I get it all tuned out, this is going to be an awesome performing F16, much better than the EDF unit. Alright, this is the first jet that I have tested the RadioLink Byme-A gyro in, and that works awesome. The Byme-A gyro has worked in everything that I've tested it in so far, whether it's a high performance sport glider, whether it is something like my Eachine Micro Sky Hunter, the Eachine Flying Fish, or one of my wings, or one of these, or not my wing, or one of these jets. It's performed well in everything I've used it in. I like having that parachute button. Like today, I lost orientation a couple of times on it against that gray sky. It's nice having that parachute button if you have to use it. So I'm still trying to train myself to do that because I haven't flown a lot of planes with gyros in them. So it's going to take some time to get used to, you know, realizing, okay, if you get in trouble, you got a parachute button. But anyway, I tried putting a Gem Fan 530 ABS two-blade prop on it, but when I got about 90% or higher on the throttle, the prop started unloading. It was just too flexible. So I have the Racerstar SIC 2688 kV motor on this. It's a really, for a 2207, it's a very high torque motor, and it's rated for 2S to 4S. So I needed a stiffer prop, so I put a King Kong L-Dark 5040 two-blade ABS prop on it, and that works absolutely fine. It's stiff enough that it can handle those RPMs. The 4 servos that I have in it are Racerstar SG90 9-gram analog nylon gear servos. The ESC that I have in it is actually the Atom RC 30 amp ESC that they use for the Eachine Atom RC Seal Wing 1500. That's the ESC that I have in it. And then the Tattu R-Line 4S 1050 milliamp hour. It's a 95C. Works awesome in this jet. Really easy to get the CG. The RadioLink Byme-A gyro, and I have a RadioMaster R81 S-Bus receiver in it that uses the FR-SKY D8, if I remember correctly. FR-SKY D8 protocol does require frequency tuning, so don't forget that if you use those. If you use a receiver in OpenTX, some of them require frequency tuning. Make sure you look at the documentation and know which ones require it, which ones don't. But and the landing skids that I extended on it worked out really well. They provide a little bit of cushion when it's coming in and landing, so it doesn't bounce back up off the hard pack. So I'm really happy with the performance that I saw out there today. I will take it back out again. I'll make another video of it once I get it all tuned out and I have some blue skies to throw it up. And I'm actually thinking about painting these wings blue, like the center of the fuselage, I think, and the horizontal stabilizer. I think it'd be so much easier to see in the air. So I think I might do that. But stay tuned. This is going to be the highest performance jet that I have in my stable once I get it all tuned out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air. Oh, and links to all the components are in the show notes. See ya.